This is Betta of Earth Day New York, and you're watching My Efficacy, Fiona Bloom's video series, and this is realmusic.com.
Hey Betta, I'm so glad you could take the time out of your busy schedule to join us today.
It's my pleasure, Fiona.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So, at what point did you know that you wanted to be an activist, educating people about the environment and creating initiatives and empowering a movement?
Great question. Probably my best, or first rather, activist experience was when I was about 13 and I went to Fur Free Friday in the Fashion District, and it was a protest the day after Thanksgiving, like dragging strips of bloody fur coats, like not bloody, but like dipped in red paint, through the street and chanting like, "Compassion is the fashion, don't wear fur." And it was pretty awesome, you know. I had a great time, and it just, you know, tapped into this rebellious spirit that until then I didn't have a positive outlet for. So pretty much like since then I've been doing activist stuff, you know, protests, parties, whatever it takes.
The protest laws. I want to hear one of your biggest protests that you've been involved in.
Definitely my biggest protest was the RNC in 2004. Where we were organizing against the Republican National Convention, and about, I don't know, 2,000 people ended up getting arrested.
Were you one of them?
Oh, Fiona, you had to ask. No, although I planned the mobilization for a year before and was totally down to get arrested, I was gonna do some civil disobedience with the War Resisters League, do a die-in, very old school. But in the end, like, I was also producing a concert in Tompkins Square Park called Party for Peace on the day, like Thursday, August 23rd. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But something was happening that day. Oh, Bush was being re-nominated by the Republicans. And so we were doing a little protest from the stage, great bands, you know, vegetarian food vendors, families, fun, like, and it was kind of during that period that I started doing more positive type of events as opposed to protests. Like, just felt more natural for me to organize festivals and music art events that raise consciousness.
Great. Well, actually, what I'd love to know is if you could change anything on this planet today, right now, what would you do?
Convert the use of fossil fuels to renewable energy. So abolish, I mean, as quickly as possible, coal, oil, gas, definitely against the hydrofracking upstate that they're trying to do, which would contaminate our entire water supply with toxic chemicals.
What's
potentially.
It called?
Hydrofracking? Yeah, it's a form of hydraulic fracturing, which is kind of a, you know, gas drilling on steroids that we can thank Halliburton, like Dick Cheney for yeah. So they're doing this upstate, or they're proposing to do it upstate. They're issuing permits. If we don't stop them, like, New York City will no longer have the cleanest water supply.
Great. Because aren't we known for the best water in the world?
Yeah,
the most
exactly. Yeah, New York City has some of the purest water. We don't even have like standard filtration system. We're one of 3 cities in America without the kind of filtration system that, and in fact, you would need like an even more advanced filtration system in order to, you can't even take out these toxic chemicals.
Wow.
That they've done this out west, where literally people who have had these gas wells on their property will then go to the sink, like, and the water becomes flammable.
Wow.
They can light a match and the water that's coming out of their faucet is flammable.
Woo.
Yeah, and so we got to organize, like, no, you know, gas drilling in New York State, protect New York City water. And a great thing that you can do no matter where you live is, this is like one of those great go green tips. Use a reusable bottle of water, as I like to spill it on myself. Bamboo fork. These are like the little things that you can do, which of course, like, nobody's perfect, and you're always forgetting, you know, not being able to recycle, or, you know, is it being recycled? But, you know, the old, like, reduce, reuse, recycle.
Reduce, reuse, recycle.
Hey, it's tried and true, you know. I learned it in like 4th grade, but still works.
Okay.
So,
who are some of your favorite artists on the scene?
Well, I love reggae, so I always gotta like give shout outs to my, you know, favorite reggae bands. And there's quite a few in the city that are kind of blending like a roots and dance hall. I love like Noble Society, Betta and the Cornerstones, of course, Judah Tribe, which is playing Saturday at Earth Fair at Grand Central. So, and I know Ms. Metro's Friday.
Ms. Metro.
Yay! Woo!
What are some of the initiatives that people early on in their stage of going green can take? You know, if they're a little bit like not completely aware of thrusting themselves in, what advice and ideas can you give?
As I was saying before, like reduce, reuse, recycle, like drive less, buy less, fly less. I mean, I'm in a bit of a quandary because Sunday there's a big festival, you know, event for Earth Day in DC. And in order for me to get down there kind of like in time, I feel, you know, I'd have to fly. And I don't know if I mean, it's sad and I'll also be completely beat. And I'm like, do I really want to traipse to DC haggard? You know, even though it's going to be this incredible mobilization, or do I want to stay here in New York, check out like the Earth Day events that are happening in Union Square and, you know, McCarran Park, and like sleep in a little and hang out with my dog.
If you had $1 million in cash today, what would you do with it?
Oh, it's so lame, but I guess I'd pay off my bills first so I could stop stressing about them, and then take a nice trip, and of course, you know, donate some, and probably try to incorporate the trip into like an adventure through Latin America, supporting sustainable economy projects, and just having, you know, kind of adventures and connecting with people.
Great. If you could sleep with anyone, anybody, don't be shy, who would it be? Don't hold back, Betta, come on.
Maybe Johnny Depp.
Ooh, good answer. We like that.
He's married with kids, and I totally think that's great. He's just a fantastic actor.
If you could take 3 things, if you had to go to a desert island completely in isolation, what 3 things would you take?
Well, you always want to like have all these, you know, caveats there, like could I bring electronics? Like no, okay, just simple stuff like you could really have in reality. I don't know, a book. Can I bring I can't bring people?
Of course you can. Who and whatever you want. 3 things. I guess a person could be a thing. An object.
I don't know what I do without brunch without Leah, my friend, you know. It's really hard to, I guess music, yeah. Could I, yeah. There you go.
There you
that
go.
would be nice.
And any final words? I know you have your big event this weekend, Earth Fair in Grand Central, Times Square, all over the place.
Yeah, well, it's E-Day.
E-Day.
Yeah.
Be the E. Be the E.
Yeah, there you go. You're making an E, basically.
Be the E.
It's in the new peace sign for the environmental movement.
Did you come up with that?
No, absolutely. I cannot take credit for this, but I think it's brilliant. And, you know, it's all about showing your solidarity with this global green movement, and whether it's, you know, small things like using a bamboo fork or a bottle of water, or doing protests, or supporting, you know, artists that are conscious and trying to change things. Like there's so many ways to get involved.
Well, we have a lot to look forward to. I thank you so much for coming. You know, this is great. You've definitely rocked the Efficacy vlog series. Big shout out to thisisrealmusic.com. Be the E.
Be the E.